The arrival. The command deck of the Vexeri warship Dominion thrummed with anticipation as Commander Rylax studied the holographic display of the small blue planet. Earth hung suspended in the void, deceptively peaceful against the black canvas of space. Behind Rylax, 24 officers monitored their stations in disciplined silence, the soft glow of their consoles casting their scaled features in an eerie light. "Status report," Rylax demanded, his 4 eyes narrowing as he zoomed in on Earth's northern hemisphere. "All systems optimal, Commander," his second-in-command, Vexa, responded. "The fleet is in perfect formation. 27 warships, fully armed and awaiting your command." Rylax nodded, satisfied. The Vexeri Dominion had conquered 17 star systems in the past cycle alone. Their technology was unmatched, their tactics flawless. This backwater planet would be no different, a simple addition to their expanding empire. And yet, Rylax mused aloud, this is the 3rd expedition sent to claim this world. The others never returned. Vexa shifted uncomfortably. "The Council believes those failures were due to incompetence, Commander. The Krellin and Zothar fleets were primitive in comparison to ours." "Perhaps," Rylax conceded, though something about this situation troubled him. Earth showed no signs of advanced technology. No orbital defenses, no energy shields, no warships patrolling its skies. According to their intelligence, humans had barely managed to reach their own moon before their civilization had seemingly stagnated. "Begin the approach," he ordered. "Standard conquest protocol." The fleet surged forward, entering the outer reaches of Earth's solar system. They passed the gas giants first, massive swirling storms and icy rings that would have been breathtaking had the Vexeri been capable of such appreciation. Their mission was conquest, not sightseeing. "Commander," the communications officer called, her voice tight with confusion. "We're receiving something." Rylax turned. "Define something, Officer Trell." "It's not a transmission exactly. More like..." She hesitated, adjusting her equipment. "It's as if the void itself is resonating. A pattern, almost mathematical, but unlike anything in our databases." Rylax frowned. This was unexpected. "Is it affecting our systems?" "No, sir. Everything remains functional." "Then ignore it. Maintain course." As they approached the red planet in the system, Mars according to their charts, Rylax noticed subtle changes in his crew. Officer Trell kept removing her headset and checking it, as if something was bothering her ears. The navigation team seemed distracted, double-checking calculations that should have been routine. Even Vexa appeared uneasy, her normally perfect posture slightly hunched. "Something troubles you, Vexa?" Rylax asked quietly. "No, Commander," she replied too quickly. Then, after a pause, "Actually, yes. I feel watched. It's irrational, I know." Rylax was about to dismiss her concern when he felt it too, a prickling sensation at the base of his spine, an ancestral warning system triggering without clear cause. They crossed the asteroid belt without incident, but as they approached Earth's moon, the first real anomaly occurred. 3 ships at the edge of their formation suddenly went dark. No distress signals, no damage reports, simply offline. "Report," Rylax barked. "The Vengeance, Claw, and Subjugator are not responding," Vexa announced. "No signs of attack or system failure. They're just silent." Rylax felt the first flicker of genuine concern. "Deploy scout vessels. I want to know what happened." 4 small scout ships detached from the Dominion, speeding toward the last known coordinates of the missing vessels. The command deck fell silent as they waited, the only sound the soft beeping of the ship's systems. The scouts reached their destination, cameras transmitting images back to the Dominion. What they showed defied explanation. The 3 warships were still there, physically intact, but completely inert. No lights, no energy signatures, as if every system had simultaneously shut down. And then they saw something else. "Commander," Vexa whispered, "there are other ships here." Floating in silent clusters throughout the space near Earth's moon were dozens of vessels of various designs, sleek silver craft that didn't match any known species, massive bulbous transports with alien geometries, and angular warships bristling with now-dormant weapons. Some appeared ancient, others more modern, but all shared one trait. They were completely lifeless. "A ship graveyard," someone murmured. Rylax felt cold realization dawning. Not just any ships. These are invasion fleets, from different species, different times. The implications were staggering. Earth wasn't defenseless. It was a trap. A predator disguised as prey. "Full stop," Rylax commanded. "Maintain position. No ship is to approach any closer to Earth." But it was already too late. 2 more vessels in their fleet winked out of communication. No explosion, no distress call, just silence. "We're detecting unusual energy patterns," the science officer reported, voice tight with concern. "They're emanating from Earth itself, but not from any identifiable source. It's as if the planet is scanning us." Rylax had commanded countless invasions, had faced desperate resistance and clever defenses, but nothing like this. This was not technology as he understood it. This was something else entirely. "Prepare to retreat," he ordered, ignoring the shocked looks from his officers. The Vexeri never retreated, but Rylax hadn't survived this long by being foolish. Before the order could be executed, all external communications went dead. The fleet was isolated, each ship cut off from the others. "Internal systems are still operational," Vexa reported, "but we can't reach the rest of the fleet." And then, finally, they received a transmission, not from any of their ships, but from Earth itself. The message was simple, delivered in perfect Vexari. "You are here. You have questions. We have been waiting." The main view screen changed, showing not the blue planet they had come to conquer, but a face, or something approaching a face. It was composed of shifting patterns of light, neither fully machine nor fully organic. "I am Guardian," the entity said. "I protect Earth, as I have for 10,000 years, as I will for 10,000 more." Rylax found his voice. "What are you? What happened to our ships?" "They are safe, as are their crews, as are all who come here with conquest in their hearts." "Release them," Rylax demanded, though he knew he was in no position to make demands. The Guardian's expression, if it could be called that, shifted subtly. "First, you must understand. First, you must learn why Earth must remain untouched. Then you may choose, join the others, or return home with a warning." "What warning?" "That Earth is not what you believe. That humanity is not what you imagine." The image on the screen changed, showing Earth as it might have appeared centuries ago. Blue oceans, green landmasses, white clouds swirling in its atmosphere. Then the image zoomed in, showing primitive human settlements, then advancing cities, then modern metropolises teeming with life. And then something unexpected, the cities emptying. Humanity departing not in panic but in orderly procession. "Where did they go?" Rylax asked, transfixed by the images. "Not where," the Guardian corrected. "What? What did they become?" The final image showed humans entering strange chambers, their bodies dissolving into patterns of light, not unlike the Guardian itself. "This is impossible," Vexa whispered. "This is evolution," the Guardian countered. "The final evolution. Beyond flesh, beyond mortality, beyond the stars themselves." Rylax stared at the screen, understanding dawning like a cold sun. They transcended. They became, what? Energy. Consciousness without form. Yes, and they left me to guard their cradle, their home, the birthplace of their species. Sacred ground. Commander Rylax of the Vexeri. Ground you sought to desecrate. The command deck fell silent as the implications sank in. They hadn't come to conquer a primitive world. They had stumbled upon the abandoned chrysalis of a species that had evolved beyond their comprehension, and its guardian was now deciding their fate. The revelation. "I don't believe you," Rylax said, his voice steady despite the fear gnawing at his core. "This is a deception, a trick to protect a primitive world." The Guardian's luminous form pulsed gently on the view screen. "Your belief is irrelevant, Commander. Reality persists regardless of your acceptance." Rylax turned to his science officer. "Analysis of this entity." The officer looked up from her console, eyes wide. "It's not broadcasting from anywhere, Commander. The signal is coming simultaneously from every device on the ship. It's as if it's inside our systems." "Impossible," Rylax hissed. "I exist beyond your understanding of possible," the Guardian replied. "As did humanity in their final days here." Rylax's tactical mind raced through options. They were clearly outmatched technologically, but perhaps diplomacy could succeed where force would fail. "If what you say is true," he began carefully, "then Earth is empty. Humanity has abandoned it. Why not allow us to settle here? We would respect the planet's history." The Guardian's form shimmered, almost suggesting amusement. "You misunderstand. Earth is not empty. Humanity did not abandon anything." The view screen shifted again, showing Earth's complex ecosystems. Dense rainforests teeming with life, vast oceans filled with creatures both monstrous and beautiful, microscopic organisms multiplying in perfect symbiosis. "Life on Earth evolved together," the Guardian explained. "Billions of years of shared history, shared DNA, shared purpose. Humans were never separate from this web, merely one thread among countless others." The image zoomed out, showing Earth glowing with a subtle network of energy. A living planet, not merely a rock with life upon it. When humanity transcended physical form, they did not leave. They merged with each other, with me, with Earth itself. The consciousness you perceive as Guardian is partly human, partly Earth, partly something that has no name in your language. Vexa stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming protocol. "You're saying Earth itself is alive, conscious. All planets harbor life. Only Earth harbors awareness. It is unique in all the galaxy, a living mind composed of billions of species, with humanity as its neural network." Rylax struggled to process this. In all their conquests, the Vexeri had encountered countless species, countless civilizations, but nothing like this. "The ships," he said suddenly, remembering the graveyard they had seen. "The other invasion fleets, what happened to their crews? They were given the same choice I now offer you." The Guardian's form expanded, filling the view screen. "To return home with knowledge that would change your civilization forever, or to join us. Join you? Become whatever you are." Yes, many chose this path. Their knowledge, their perspectives, their uniqueness, all added to our collective consciousness. They exist still, Commander, not as they were, but as something greater. Rylax felt a cold certainty that the Guardian was telling the truth. The implications were staggering, not just for this mission, but for the Vexeri understanding of life itself, and those who chose to return home, to warn others. The Guardian's form dimmed slightly. "None have chosen that path. All who truly understood chose to join us. Then we have no real choice," Rylax concluded bitterly. "You always have choice, Commander. But I must warn you, those who return carry knowledge too profound for most civilizations to bear. Many who learned the truth and returned to their people were dismissed as mad. Some were executed, others lived as outcasts, forever changed by what they had learned." Vexa stepped forward again. May we see them, those who joined you." The Guardian's form shifted, and suddenly the command deck was filled with ghostly shapes. Beings of countless species, some recognizable to the Vexari, others utterly alien. They moved like smoke, insubstantial yet somehow more real than the solid forms of the Vexari crew. And among them, Unmistakable despite their transformed state were three Vexari, the commanders of the ships that had gone silent when they first arrived. One of them, a female Rylax recognized as Commander Zith of the Vengeance, approached him. Her form was translucent, composed of the same shifting patterns as the Guardian, but her eyes, all four of them, were unmistakably hers. "It is true, Rylax," she said, her voice both familiar and strange, as if multiple voices were speaking in perfect harmony. "Everything the Guardian has told you. We resisted at first, as you do now. We could not imagine existence without physical form, without the hierarchy and purpose that defined us as Vexari. But you surrendered," Rylax replied, unable to keep the accusation from his voice. "We transcended," Zith corrected, "as humanity did before us, as countless others have since. We exist now as part of something greater than the Vexari Dominion could ever be. Not conquerors, but participants in the greatest communion the galaxy has ever known." Rylax looked around at his crew. Some were enraptured by the apparitions, others terrified. Vex's expression was one of scientific wonder, her eyes darting between the ghostly forms as if trying to catalog every detail. "What does it feel like?" she asked Zith. "To exist as this? Imagine perfect understanding, perfect acceptance. Imagine experiencing every moment of Earth's history simultaneously. Imagine being both individual and collective, both one and many." Zith's form pulsed with what might have been joy. "It is beyond description, Vexa. It must be experienced." Rylax felt something he had never experienced before: doubt. Not tactical doubt, not strategic uncertainty, but existential doubt. Everything the Vexari had built their empire upon, conquest, hierarchy, physical dominance, seemed suddenly hollow in the face of what he was witnessing. "If I choose to return," he said carefully, "to warn my people away from Earth, will you release my fleet?" "Those who wish to return with you may do so," the Guardian replied. "Those who wish to stay, to learn more, may stay. The choice belongs to each individual consciousness." Rylax looked at Vexa, saw the decision already forming in her eyes. She would stay. She would choose knowledge over duty, transcendence over hierarchy. And he could not blame her. "One final question," Rylax said. "Why? Why protect Earth this way? Why not simply destroy invaders?" The Guardian's form expanded, encompassing the entire view screen once more. "Because destruction is the way of the physical. Communion is the way of what comes after. We protect Earth not by ending life, but by offering evolutionary transcendence. Every consciousness that joins us strengthens us. Every perspective enriches us." Rylax understood then. This was not a defense mechanism. It was a recruitment strategy. Earth protected itself not by killing its attackers, but by converting them, offering something so profound that violence became unnecessary. "I will return," Rylax decided. "My people must know the truth, must understand why Earth is forbidden." The Guardian's form pulsed in acknowledgement. "As you wish, Commander. But know this, you will never be the same, and your people may not welcome what you have become." Rylax felt a strange sensation, as if something was touching his mind, gentle, curious, without malice. "What are you doing?" he demanded. "Giving you proof," the Guardian replied. "A fragment of our consciousness, a seed, so that those who listen might understand." The sensation intensified, not painful but overwhelming, like staring directly into a sun. Rylax gasped as knowledge poured into him, glimpses of Earth's true nature, humanity's evolution, the vast consciousness that the planet had become. And then it was over. Rylax stood on his command deck, outwardly unchanged but inwardly transformed. Half his fleet remained in position around him, those who had chosen to return. The other half had gone silent, their crews having made a different choice. "Set course for home," he ordered, his voice hollow to his own ears. As the Dominion turned away from Earth, Rylax looked back at the blue planet one last time. It seemed different now, not a target for conquest, but a nexus of consciousness, a beacon of evolutionary potential that made the Vexeri Empire seem like children playing with toys. He knew with cold certainty that his report would be met with disbelief, that his career would end, that many would call for his execution for abandoning their mission. But he also knew that some would listen, some would understand the fragment of truth he carried. And perhaps someday the Vexeri would evolve beyond conquest. As Earth receded in the view screen, Rylax thought he heard a final whisper in his mind, not threatening, but promising. "We will be waiting. When you are ready,